Welcome to the Scary Stories channel, where the hair on the back of your neck will stand up and your heart will race with fear. Get ready to be transported to a world of terror and suspense, where anything can happen and nothing is as it seems. So sit back, turn off the lights, and let us take you on a journey to the dark and unknown. And don't forget to subscribe to never miss a single spine-chilling story.
Colin's Corner. I usually like to watch TV with my little sister, Kimberly. She was only 5, so, of course, she watched all the cutesy kids shows. I didn't really mind, though. They made her happy and I liked spending time with her. She watched shows like Dora, Blue's Clues, and Arthur. We often had a lot of DVDs of old kids shows around the house that we would watch. There was a large box of old movies and TV shows in the attic. I took a brief look at it once, but none of them looked like they would appeal to her. One day, Kimberly was at a doctor's appointment and I thought I'd have time to watch a movie aimed more towards my age range. So I thought this would be a good time to look through the box of old movies in the attic. While I looked through the box, I noticed that these movies didn't really interest me, but I kept looking in hopes to find something. Then I saw, at the bottom of the box, a DVD labeled Colin's Corner. Many memories started to come back to me. I used to watch this show as a kid. It was about an orange puppet named Colin, who lived in a house on the corner of a street. He would often have his other puppet friends come over to play games and sing songs. It was cute and innocent, and I remember really liking it as a kid. I thought this would be a good show for my sister and I to watch. When Kimberly got home, I told her I got a new show for us to watch. She got excited and sat down on the couch while I put the disc in. I sat down next to her as the selection screen popped up. The screen looked just as I remembered it. It showed Colin and his friends in front of the house. I chose the first episode and the theme song began. I was a little confused. The colors were a lot darker than I remember, and the song was sung a lot slower and in a deeper voice. I didn't think much of it as I hadn't seen the show in a long time and I probably forgot some elements of it. The show began pretty normally. Colin was in his house and said hello to the viewers. There was a knock on his door and he said, "I think my friends are here." When he opened the door, I felt my heart to my throat. Standing at the door were 2 tall, white puppets with no nose or mouth, only pitch black eyes. I was shocked because I don't even remember these characters on the show. Even the cover of the DVD showed 2 colorful, friendly puppets. I looked over at Kimberly and she had this big smile on her face. I was confused since an image like that would terrify a child. "I'm not sure we should watch this anymore," I told her. "No, please. Keep it on," she exclaimed. I continued watching as the giant puppets didn't seem to faze her. The 2 large puppets came into the house. Colin asked, "What do you guys want to do today?" The one puppet replied with the most horrific sound I ever heard. It sounded like a man was shouting, almost screaming in a strange language. The audio was very distorted. At this point, I got up and ejected the disc from the VCR, much to Kimberly's disappointment. "Why did you stop it?" "Put it back on," she said. I didn't listen and put the DVD in a drawer. Even though Kimberly wasn't bothered by the show, I still thought it was too disturbing for a 5-year-old. I had trouble sleeping that night. I kept thinking about the video. I watched that show all the time when I was younger. I definitely have seen every episode. I didn't understand why I didn't remember an episode like this. I was still curious about the rest of the episode. I decided to go downstairs to finish it. I took the DVD out of the drawer and put it in the VCR. I put on headphones so the noise wouldn't disturb my family. The episode began the same, with the strange intro and the large puppets. After the one puppet made the terrifying sound, Colin replied, "You're right, we should play a game." He then grabbed a knife off the counter. It cut to a live-action arm painted orange to represent Colin's. The knife went up to the arm and started to cut slits, each one deeper than the last. Colin started to scream a blood-curdling scream. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I felt sick to my stomach. Blood gushed out of the wounds as the screams got louder and louder. It then cut to a live-action neck painted orange. The knife went up to the throat and cut a deep slit in it, and blood began gushing out. It showed Colin gasping heavily for air, before his eyes turned completely white. The episode ended with him falling to the ground as the 2 tall, white puppets looked directly into the camera with pitch black eyes. I was utterly terrified at this point. I immediately ejected the DVD and threw it in the trash. I couldn't sleep at all that night. I kept thinking about the episode. I got up the next morning and went downstairs to get some breakfast. I walked past Kimberly's room and saw that she wasn't in there. When I got downstairs, I saw her on the couch, finishing up the horrific episode I watched last night. I immediately grabbed the remote and turned the TV off. "Why did you do that?" she asked. "Where did you get the DVD?" I shouted. "It was in the garbage," she replied. "I took it out because I wanted to finish the episode. This show is very bad." I shouted. "No, it's not," she said. "They were just baking a cake." "What?" I said. "The episode was about Colin and his friends baking a cake," she replied. I was shocked. "What did his friends look like?" I asked. "One was blue and one was red," she replied. "I really liked it. Can I watch it again?"